Since you have been speaking again this time, many of us feel that you are taking us into another phase of your work. Is this true?
Absolutely true. I had to give 3 years gap and remain silent for so many reasons. One of the reasons relevant to your question is that I had been speaking on Jesus, on Krishna, on Buddha, on Mahavira. I was speaking on all other traditions of religion, Hasidism, Zen, Sufism. I had spoken almost on all important people who had contributed something to human consciousness. Lao Tzu, Chuang Tzu, Li Tzu, Bodhidharma, Bokochu, Socrates, Pythagoras, Zarathustra, Kabir, Sankara, Dadu, Milarepa, Marpa, Nagarjuna, Vasubandhu. I covered almost the whole world. Wherever I found a man who has contributed to human consciousness, whether it was Greece, Heraclitus, Diogenes, Dionysius, or it was Tibet, or it was China, or it was Arabia, it did not matter to me. I was speaking on these people for a certain reason, a simple device. I had no people of my own. I had to throw my net far and wide. When I spoke on Jesus, Christians were happy, immensely happy. They started coming to me. Even priests, bishops became sannyasins. And I was laughing all the time inside that what I am saying is my own, it has nothing to do with Jesus. Jesus is just an excuse. I use his words, but put my meaning into them. And these people are thinking that we have never understood Jesus rightly. We were thinking something else. In fact, they were right. I was changing the wine, keeping the bottle. And when I had enough people who are capable of listening to me directly, and I don't have to drop things which are ugly in Jesus, ugly in Mahavira, because in the beginning I was not in the position to offend these people. To offend these people in the beginning would have been a disaster. You would not have been here. I would not have been here. So I used those devices, and then I stopped speaking just to give a gap that those who are only interested in me because I speak on Jesus will leave. Those who think that I am supporting Hinduism by speaking on Gita will leave, because silence is not a discourse on Gita. This was a beautiful experience. A few people left, just to be counted on your fingers. But more than 500,000 people are now ready to listen to me. Now, I don't care. I can call Jesus just what he is, a crackpot. I can call Mahavira just exactly what he is, a masochist. Now I know that you can understand me. It was a preparatory period. I was not thinking that I am going to catch so many fish. But truth has its own mysterious ways. I have with me, with great love, trust, friendliness, more than 500,000 sannyasins. But that is not the whole number who is getting close to me. There are at least 2 million people more who are in great sympathy of what I am saying, but they don't have yet courage enough to come out and declare that I have dropped the past and I am ready for the present. And there are at least 1 million people who are just 50-50. They read my books, they go to the church too. I know that if they go on continuing reading my books, particularly now that I am creating the new Bible, the last testament. You have heard about the Old Testament and the New Testament. I am creating the last testament. If they go on reading what I am saying now, things will be settled. Either they will burn my books and take shelter into a church, or they will burn the Old Testament and the New Testament and be my people. Right now they are in a split. But I don't see any intelligent person can choose, if he understands me, anything. 2,000-year-old, 3,000-year-old, 5,000-year-old, unless you are a junk collector, yes, it is totally a new phase. Because I have found my people, and now I can open my heart totally. Now, all the cards are open on the table. I have nothing to hide from you, because I know your love will be able to understand it. Okay, Sarita.